Hey guys, what is up? This is YoMeister238, and today, as you can tell by the title of the video, I thought it would be interesting if I did my own version of cave updates ideas. And so I don't know if you guys can tell by the textures alone or not, but I actually am in version, I think 1.12 or something like that right now. And the reason behind that is because I created a little bit of a resource pack to explore some ideas. But I do have more parts in the updated world as well. So this first part of the video is just going to be dedicated to the ideas I have that I created in my resource pack. But without further ado, let's jump into some ideas I had for the new cave update if we ever get one on Minecraft. So walking into this little bit of a cave right here, you can see obviously there's some different ores. We got some diamond ore, which I will call ruby. Over here, we've got some copper ore, which is the gold ore. And then over here, we also have the iron ore, which is also called amethyst. And I didn't know how to do any mods or anything like that. I'm not that special, but I did know how to create a resource pack, and I did it with Nova's skin. And these are just some ideas of some gems I thought we could have added to the game. I think this would be super cool if we had copper, amethyst, and ruby. It would offer a variation in the colors of blue, yellow, and white that we currently have, and green because of the emerald. And it would be cool to have some red ruby armor, some copper armor, and some amethyst armor. So if we walk down into this cave a little bit more, you can see down here that I've just done a couple of textures just to see what it would turn out like. Here we got some ruby armor. We got the ruby in the item frame with the ruby sword, shovel, pickaxe, axe, and hoe. Over here I did the same thing with the amethyst. Got some amethyst armor with amethyst block, and here's the ore as well with an amethyst bar, sword, shovel, pickaxe, axe, and a hoe. And over here, I also got some copper armor doing the same exact thing. So we got the copper bar, the copper sword, the copper shovel, pickaxe, axe, and hoe. And the way these things would kind of relate and according to the gems we already have and everything, I feel like ruby, I was doing some research and I saw that ruby could actually break obsidian as well. So I thought a ruby pickaxe would be really cool to have, and it would be a little bit stronger than the diamond pickaxe, but it would obviously be a lot more rare. And it's got this cool looking red texture. Red is my favorite color, so that's why I think it should be the strongest gem. And it would definitely be a lot more rare, so it would be harder to find than diamond. But when you find it, it creates this really OP armor that would be a little bit better. Pickaxes would have more endurance and strength and whatnot than the diamond. Then we got the amethyst over here, which the amethyst would be a little bit stronger than the iron, a little bit stronger and a little bit more endurant. But again, it wouldn't be as rare, as common as iron. It would be a little bit rarer to find. Not as rare as ruby or diamond, but it would be, I think the flow from strength would be, it would go ruby, then diamond, then amethyst, then iron. And this would be a really cool block too. I think this adds a really nice, unique color too for blocks and stuff that we could have. We do have the purple blocks, which are already purple and everything, but this would kind of just add a new dimension to armor and stuff, which is really cool. And I don't know if these three gems would work the best, but I think it would definitely be cool to have something new along these lines in the cave update, just where we have these cool new textures added, these new blocks, these new gems. Then lastly, we got copper, which copper would be a lot worse than, it'd probably be about the same strength and stuff as gold. Definitely weaker than the amethyst and iron and all that other stuff. But it would be really cool if we had copper that was a lot more common, so we could substitute it for kind of like trapdoors and anvils and pressure plates and stuff. This would give us a new texture, kind of like an orangey looking kind of door and stuff that we could do, an orange anvil. And we could substitute this for iron. Obviously, copper, you wouldn't be able to farm as you can with iron now. You wouldn't be able to have this as a farmable item, but it would be a lot more abundant and a lot more common, and it would be weaker than iron. So getting this copper would be cool though, because of decoration variances and whatnot. It would be super cool to have just these different shades of anvils and just these little things. And I don't know if we should use the copper for all of the crafting recipes, just some of them. So you can't use copper for like every single iron crafting recipe there is, but in a way it could be a substitute. And I think that would be really cool if Minecraft started adding these sort of substitutes to the game and everything. But these are the one textures I wanted to show. There is another thing I did show. I think there was another texture I changed right here. If I get my fish out, you can see right here that we have cooked fish and raw fish, and obviously the textures are a little bit gray, a little bit different. Let me get some item frames so I can put them up for you guys to see right here. And I will explain this a little bit later on in the video, but I thought it would be cool for the cave update if we had this new blind fish added. That's what I'm calling it, is the blind fish. And again, I will explain that in the next part of the videos, because you'll see why when we get there. But with that said, these are all the concepts I thought that would be cool and all these textures that I did right here. And now we're actually going to transport to my 1.15.1 world that's up to date, and I'm going to record all the structures I thought that they should add in the cave update. But just so you guys can see, this is what I thought would be cool for adding some different textures and stuff. Now let's hop into the new world. Okay, so now we are back in the 1.15.1 world, and I don't know why, but it kind of feels just a kind of a relief to be back in this world. I don't know what it was about the older version, but I like this version a lot more. So with that said though, let's actually jump into, you guys saw all the textures and everything, and I'll explain the blindfish a little bit later, but let's jump into the structures I think they should add in the cave update if we ever get one. So obviously one thing that I did when creating this cave right here is I put some stone slabs in, and I put some granite slabs and all that type of stuff, and diorite slabs and whatnot. And I think that would be cool if it would just give the cave a little bit more of depth if we have these slabs and blocks that aren't just like, it makes it look a little less blocky. And I guess that just adds a little bit. I don't know if that would be too troublesome for the cave update to actually have. It might make stuff laggier having all these different slabs and everything, but I think it would definitely add some shape to the caves we have and everything. For the very first thing I want to show though, I thought it would be really cool if they added these special tombs, which I will go in and show you guys. The tombs would be kind of hard to see and a little bit hidden. Obviously, this one is really hard to see because it's right behind this wall. You wouldn't be able to tell unless I showed you guys in the videos, which makes it kind of fun to find though. It gives a little bit more incentive for the players to actually explore caves. But in this tomb, if we open it up, you can see that I made it just kind of look like a catacombs almost. I got some skeleton heads with a wither rose in a pot and everything like this. And it's this cool little structure right here, you know. It's these are where this is where people would be buried and everything. And I think it would be cool if specifically this was like a place where you can find treasure. So what you have to do to find the treasure though, is you have to break this gravel right here, because this is covering the main tomb. But if we break the gravel, there's sometimes a trap. So it's not always for sure, but if you break these two blocks, obviously this one was trapped, so you would probably blow up if you were to break it. And I did add some TNT down here that doesn't actually explode because I don't want this all to break on me, because that would not be fun to repair. But yeah, I think it would be cool if we had these tombs that were sometimes trapped, not always necessarily. But if you did get any, you see there's a little tombstone right here in this little corridor. Well, you get some rewards, some nice ones too. Maybe this Curse of Binding isn't that good, but we got like a diamond, an enchanted golden apple, some iron ingots and stuff, and just nice little rewards like this. And this is a very small feature that I think would be really cool if we added. What you guys might be thinking is that, but you know, why couldn't you just go through the walls and everything? And the reason behind that, if I go into, what am I trying to do? Game mode, survival. And if I were to give myself a pickaxe, I should have planned this out, shouldn't I have? Because now I'm now I'm struggling. There we go. So if we were to actually just mine these blocks right here though, the whole thing is made up of silverfish. And they're dying right now because I'm in peaceful mode. Dang, I didn't plan this out, if you guys can tell. I'm just kind of winging it. Let's go back into easy and break one of these blocks. So say instead you don't want to risk the gravel and being blown up. This isn't always permanent too. This is just sometimes the trap happens. It's not always going to be a for sure thing, which makes it a little bit risky. But if you were to break this, you can see what happens is a silverfish comes out, and this whole thing over here, this whole thing is just made of tons and tons of silverfish. So it makes it so much harder to survive. And I'm probably gonna die because I don't have a sword, so let me go into peaceful. But the whole room is made entirely of like silverfish blocks. So trying to mine into it would be a lot harder than just trying to take the risk of possibly blowing them up. And I think this would be super fun because it adds a little bit of risk to the game. It adds some incentive to actually explore the caves instead of just getting resources and everything. And if you find them, it's definitely a fun little find. I don't know, you get some cool treasures out of it and everything, which is cool. You might get trapped, you might die, you don't know. You might have to fight a bunch of silverfish to get in. And that just adds to the excitement of it and everything. And of course right here, I would obviously have these blocks be you know, silverfish blocks as well, so that you can't dig down and see if there's actually a trap, or maybe there'd be some obsidian just to make it a little bit annoying or something. But yeah, I think this would be super cool as an addition to the cave update. And there's also some hidden chests right here. Like there's a chest with some bones in it, a flower, and maybe like a will of the person who died and everything. But yeah, I think this would be one feature that I would absolutely love to see, is just these random tombs that you accidentally run into every once in a while. And for vanilla Minecraft, I don't think that's too much to ask because we have dungeons and stuff like that and pyramids already. I think that would just be a really fun, cool addition. Let's move on to the next addition that I thought would be super cool. So if we go down these caves, and again, you can see I added granite slabs and stuff like that, which just adds a little bit more detailing to the caves. But if we keep walking down, making these caves was a little bit tedious too, I'll tell you what. Trying to carve them out, I just used TNT, but it was still tedious. All right, one thing before I walk in that I think would be super cool is if we had monster gathering rooms. So we walk into here and you see there's a zombie spawner and there is a spider spawner over there as well. And this room would be a little bit more rare, definitely, because since there's 2 spawners, you could turn this into an XP grinding mob farm, and it would be so cool to have. But you can see we got these cool walls going up to the ceiling with some iron bars hanging down, making it look a little Jurassic and cool. These torches wouldn't be here so that the mobs could actually spawn in and attack you. I think the only reason I had the torches was so that you guys could actually see what the room looked like and everything, so I'll add those back. But I think it would be cool if mob rates were increased in here somehow too. I don't know. Mojang could probably figure out a way to do that. But if there was more mobs in here so that this could actually be called a monster gathering room, I think that'd be so cool. You come in here and you have to battle a bunch of mobs, but if you do, you get this reward of having these spawners and being able to make mob farms and stuff like that. And I think that'd be so cool. And just the cool little design that I added too. It just adds a lot more detail to the game, more things to find in the caves themselves, which I think would be awesome. Another thing I did add, again, there's some chests and some little bit of rewards, maybe a potion of regeneration, saddles and name tags and that sort of thing. And maybe we could have more chests hidden too if we put like a stair there or something and had it hidden behind this block. But it gives people more reason to get into caves to try and find these cool little structures that Mojang has built. And I think that would make the game so much more fun. It would give you a huge incentive and reason to actually go into the caves and explore instead of just trying to gather resources and become resource rich. But yeah, so this is one cool little tomb that I created. So we got the tombs and the monster gatherings. Let's move on to the next part though that I added to this game mode. And this is where the fish will actually come into play too. You guys will see why in just a second. So let's walk down these caves and go ahead and admire the caves that I did. This took a little bit of time to carve out and everything. So you can just you know, leave a like and subscribe because of this awesome looking cave structure. All right, so another thing that I thought would be so cool that we added was underground lakes. Just imagine this, having these huge lakes. This one isn't as big as I would like it to be, but having these huge caves where you can actually get a boat and swim around because it's that big that you need to actually be able to explore and everything. We got some sea pickles down there and everything, which I thought would be really cool if we actually got slime balls. There's this thing in real life, I was looking this up when I was doing research for caves and everything, that there's an actual thing called green slime and it kind of glows. And I thought it would be so cool if we had slime balls be able to be used in this kind of way that sea pickles are used, how you can place them down, and the more you place down, the brighter it gets. If instead you could have slime balls and you get this cool green little texture and everything where you can build these little mounds. And that way slime balls, not only would they be able to be used for, you know, like sticky pistons and slime blocks and stuff like that, but you could also use them as a lighting source. That would be so cool to have green slime available. And I don't know if it should be considered a different block or not. I think it just gives slime ball more use than what it has already, because right now it's literally just sticky pistons and slime blocks. And if we added the slime ball lighting to green slime lighting to the video and everything, or to the video game, it would make it so that you can find the slime a little bit easier. If you find one of these special lake caves, you could find the slime a little bit easier than having to try to find slimes on a specific night in the middle of a swamp somewhere where it's a little bit harder to get. You could get some free slime from here, and I think that would be so cool for decoration purposes, research purposes, and stuff like that. And what I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the blind fish, I think it would be cool if in these underground lakes that we had, these huge underground lakes, if we had it so that you could only specifically fish. You couldn't catch them in the wild too, but only in these underground water lakes could you get these blind fish. And when you caught them, they would be hostile mobs. So when you try to go, if they were actually 3D models and you were trying to attack them and everything, they could kind of act like a pufferfish and they could poison you, but they could also give you some blindness since they are called blind fish, and blind fish actually do live in underground lakes in real life. I think it would be cool if they could poison you and hurt you and damage you, and they could actually be kind of lethal, especially if they come into like a little bit of a pack in an underground lake and you try to catch them. They could try to kill you, which that would be so cool. We don't really have that many fish. I think pufferfish is the only fish that can actually do you any harm right now, other than silverfish, but I don't classify as a fish. But I think that would be such a cool addition to Minecraft, having these blind fish. And another thing, my little brother actually came up with this idea, so shout out to him, I guess. He said it would be cool if when you caught these fish, you can make a certain potion with something they drop, maybe like a certain scale or something like that. But this potion, what it would do is it would take ores and it would light them up. So you can see this gold ore right now. Maybe it's a little hard to see in the dark, but if you got this potion made from these blind fish, it would brighten it up and make it so that's harder to not see. And I think that would be such a cool addition to the game. especially if you're like looking for diamond or something like that and you all of a sudden see this blue glow because of the potion effect. That would be such a cool thing added to Minecraft. Let's move on from the underground lakes though, even though this is one of my absolute favorite additions to the, or ideas that I had for the cave update. Let's move on to my last idea actually. So if we start walking down this cave and we will say farewell to the underground lake, which I think would be so much fun. Having those fish and green slime would be so cool. Let's move on to my last idea, which would be a lava water, kind of like a lava filling, except with parkour in it. And you see there's a little chest over there. I can't really zoom in because I don't have Optifine, which I should probably get. But there's a chest over there, and what you have to do is you have to do parkour. And then obviously, I know you guys are probably telling me right now that you could get a water bucket and just make this lava all obsidian, or you could literally just mine around and go over to the chest and everything. And I guess that's true in a lot of cases. Honestly, with the tombs too, you could probably just mine and fight all the silverfish and take away all the challenge from it. But I guess that's kind of Minecraft in a way, you know, with the dungeons and everything, you can just mine into the dungeons and you don't really have to actually explore them and everything. But this will be a little fun challenge if you guys want to, you know, have something to do when you're exploring caves. You have to do the parkour and not end up falling in the lava, which I probably will because I absolutely stink at parkour. But it would just make it a little bit fun, especially if there's some treasure on the other side that you have to actually do the parkour to get. Again, you could obviously just tunnel around this and everything, but I think it would be cool if Minecraft added these lava lakes with stepping stones in it so that you actually had to try to get over. And look at that, I actually made it to the parkour. And then the prizes that you would get would be very similar to just prizes that you get in other chests, some emeralds, some gold nuggets, iron nuggets, maybe a block of redstone and stuff like that. And I think that would just be such a cool addition to have this little bit of parkour. Again, it makes exploring the underground so much more fun, and having these bigger caves, these open more caves, like this lava cave is a lot more open than we usually see. And along with the underground lake that we had up there, that's a lot more open than you would usually see. But I think this would be a super cool addition to Minecraft, having all these different chests and everything. And with that said, that's actually all the ideas I have for Minecraft, which I really hope this gets acknowledged because some of those ideas I think would be so much fun. Having the green slime, blind fish, underground lakes, having tombs and monster gathering spots and everything like that. I think that'd be make Minecraft so much better if we did the cave update. And don't forget the amethyst and different rubies and stuff for people who want different types of armors and all that type of stuff. That would be such a cool addition to Minecraft. But that is just about it for the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys have any cave updates ideas of your own, don't forget to tell me and comment below what your cave update ideas are. Those are just a few of mine that I thought would spruce up the game and make it a little bit more exciting. But with that said, I really hope you guys do enjoy your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to enjoy playing Minecraft. But with that said, I hope you guys have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next video.